Before the United States had its own official mint, the American colonies used a jumble of different coins. These came from many places. English shillings, Spanish silver dollars, and French louis d'or were all common in daily trade. Some colonies even tried to make their own money to solve the coin shortage. Massachusetts was the first to do so, creating simple silver coins like the pine tree shilling starting in 1652. These early efforts were important. They showed a growing desire for economic independence from Great Britain. The coins were often crude but served a vital purpose in local commerce for many years. The need for a national currency became very clear after the American Revolution. The Articles of Confederation gave states the right to coin money, which created more confusion. To fix this, the Coinage Act of 1792 was passed. This historic law established the United States Mint in Philadelphia. It also created the dollar as the country's standard unit of money. The law specified which coins would be made, their metal content, and their designs. It was a major step for the new nation. It showed the world that America was a serious, independent country with its own stable economic system. The first federal coins were struck in 1793. These were copper cents and half cents. The designs were simple but meaningful. They featured a representation of liberty on the front, or obverse. On the back, or reverse, was a chain with 15 links, symbolizing the 15 states at the time. However, many people did not like the chain design. They thought it looked like a symbol of slavery, not unity. The mint quickly changed the design to a wreath to please the public. This showed that the mint was listening to the people, a tradition that continues to this day in American coinage. The first silver coins appeared shortly after the copper ones, beginning in 1794. These included the half-dime, dime, quarter, half-dollar, and the famous silver dollar. Following the law, all these coins featured an image of liberty on the front. The initial design is known as the flowing hair type. It shows liberty with long, flowing hair, which was meant to represent freedom. The reverse design had a small, somewhat skinny eagle surrounded by a wreath. These early coins are very rare and highly prized by collectors today. They represent the very beginning of the American monetary system we know. The 1-cent piece, often called the penny, has been a part of American life since the very beginning. The first cents were made in 1793 and were very large, much bigger and heavier than today's penny. They were made of pure copper. The design showed liberty, with flowing hair on one side and a chain or wreath on the other. Because they were so big, they are often called large cents by collectors. Over the years, the design of liberty changed several times. We saw the draped bust cent, the classic head cent, and finally the braided hair cent. These large cents were made until 1857, marking the end of an era for the big copper coin. In 1857, the large cent was replaced by a much smaller coin. This new cent was made of a copper-nickel alloy, giving it a whitish color. It is known as the Flying Eagle cent. This design was only made for a few years, from 1856 to 1858. It featured a beautiful eagle in flight on the front. This was a very modern and artistic design for its time. The reverse had a simple wreath. People liked the smaller size, but the hard copper-nickel metal was difficult for the mint to strike. This led to another quick change in the 1-cent piece, a common theme in the history of American coins. The Indian head cent was introduced in 1859 and became one of America's most beloved coins. It was designed by James B. Longacre. The coin does not actually show a Native American. It shows liberty wearing a Native American headdress. This design was used for 50 years, until 1909. For the first few years, the coin was made of the same copper-nickel alloy as the Flying Eagle cent. In 1864, the composition was changed to bronze, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc. This made the coins easier to produce and gave them the reddish color we associate with pennies today. The most famous cent is the Lincoln cent, first issued in 1909. It was created to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real person instead of the symbolic figure of liberty. The front, designed by Victor David Brenner, shows a portrait of Lincoln. The original reverse showed 2 stalks of wheat, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. In 1959, for Lincoln's 150th birthday, the reverse was changed to an image of the Lincoln Memorial. In 2010, it was changed again to a Union Shield design. The metal has also changed over the years, from bronze to zinc-coated steel during World War II, and now to copper-plated zinc. The 5-cent coin we call a nickel did not start out that way. The first 5-cent coins were small silver coins called half dimes. They were made from 1794 until 1873. But in 1866, a new 5-cent coin was introduced. This coin was made of a copper and nickel alloy, which is where the name nickel comes from. The first design is called the shield nickel. It was produced from 1866 to 1883. The front of the coin shows the shield of the United States. The back has the number 5 inside a circle of stars. This coin was created because silver was scarce after the Civil War. In 1883, the shield nickel was replaced by a new design. This is known as the Liberty Head Nickel, or V nickel. The V comes from the Roman numeral for 5, which was on the reverse. The front featured a classic portrait of Liberty with a coronet in her hair. When this coin was first released, it caused a problem. The reverse only had the letter V, and did not say the word cents. Some clever people gold-plated the coins and tried to pass them off as $5 gold pieces. The mint quickly added the word cents below the V to stop the confusion. This coin was made until 1913. One of the most iconic American coins is the Buffalo nickel, also called the Indian head nickel. It was designed by James Earl Fraser and was minted from 1913 to 1938. This coin is celebrated for its beautiful and uniquely American design. The front features a powerful and realistic portrait of a Native American. The portrait is a composite of 3 different chiefs. The reverse shows a magnificent American bison, commonly called a buffalo. The model for this bison was believed to be a famous animal named Black Diamond from the Bronx Zoo. This coin captured the spirit of the American West. Since 1938, the nickel has featured the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. This design was chosen through a competition to honor the 3rd U.S. president. The front, designed by Felix Schlag, shows a profile of Jefferson. The original reverse showed his home, Monticello. This design was used for over 60 years. In 2004 and 2005, the nickel's reverse was changed to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. These were called the Westward Journey nickels. In 2006, the coin was updated with a new, forward-facing portrait of Jefferson, and the return of the Monticello design on the reverse, keeping the coin fresh and modern. The dime, or 10-cent piece, has been a part of the U.S. monetary system since 1796. The first dimes were made of silver, like the other early coins. They were quite small. The initial designs followed the pattern of other silver coins of the era. They featured the draped bust of Liberty on the front and a small eagle on the reverse. Later, a larger heraldic eagle was used. These early dimes are very scarce and valuable to collectors. They represent the first attempts by the young nation to create a full system of coinage for commerce. The dime was an important part of this system from the very beginning. For much of its history, the dime featured a seated figure of Liberty. This design, known as the seated Liberty dime, was used from 1837 to 1891. It was designed by Christian Gebrecht. The image of Liberty sitting on a rock, holding a shield and a pole with a cap on it, was a powerful symbol of freedom and strength. The design was used on most silver coins of the period, creating a uniform look for American money. Over its long run, the seated Liberty dime had several small changes, such as the addition of stars around Liberty and a wreath or arrows and olive branches on the reverse. In 1892, a new design was introduced for the dime, quarter, and half dollar. This is known as the Barber dime, named after its designer, Charles E. Barber. He was the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The front of the coin shows a classic head of Liberty, wearing a cap and a wreath. The reverse features a simple wreath of corn, wheat, maple, and oak leaves, surrounding the words "1 dime." The Barber dime was a workhorse coin in American commerce for over 2 decades. It circulated widely until it was replaced in 1916. Many of these coins are well worn today, showing how much they were used. The dime we are familiar with today is the Roosevelt dime. It was first issued in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The coin was created to honor him for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. He was also a founder of the March of Dimes, an organization that fights polio, a disease he suffered from. The front features a portrait of Roosevelt designed by John R. Sinnock. The reverse shows a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Until 1964, the dime was made of 90% silver. Since 1965, it has been made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. The quarter dollar worth 25 cents is one of the most widely used coins in the United States today. Its history began way back in 1796. Like other early silver coins, the first quarters were made of a 90% silver and 10% copper alloy. The first design was known as the draped bust type, showing liberty on the front and a small eagle on the reverse. Production wasn't really continuous in the early years. Quarters were not minted every year. They were only made when there was a specific demand for them. This makes those early quarters pretty rare, and honestly, quite sought after by collectors who want a complete set of US coinage from the very beginning. For a long period, from 1838 to 1891, the quarter featured the seated liberty design. This was actually the same design used on the dime and half dollar of that period. It depicted liberty seated on a rock. This kind of standardization of design across different denominations was pretty common in the 19th century. It gave American silver coinage a consistent and recognizable appearance. The seated Liberty quarter saw several minor modifications during its production, including the addition of arrows next to the date in 1853 and 1873 to indicate changes in the coin's silver weight. These small details are really fascinating to numismatists. The Barber quarter, named after its designer Charles E. Barber, was minted from 1892 to 1916. It shared its obverse design with the Barber dime and half dollar. The front showed a classic head of liberty facing right. The reverse was unique to the quarter, featuring a large heraldic eagle, similar to the one on the Great Seal of the United States. This design was a staple of American pocket change at the turn of the 20th century. It circulated during a time of great industrial growth and change in America, making it a tangible piece of that historical period for collectors today. A major change came in 1932, with the introduction of the Washington quarter. This coin was actually intended to be a one-year commemorative issue to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. However, the design proved so popular that it was continued as the regular issue. The obverse features the now famous portrait of Washington by John Flanagan. The original reverse showed an eagle with outstretched wings. Then, in 1999, the Mint began the 50 State Quarters program, releasing 5 new reverse designs each year to honor every state. This program was incredibly successful and was followed by series honoring D.C., U.S. territories, and America's national parks. The half dollar has a long and rich history as one of America's largest circulating coins. First minted in 1794, the 50-cent piece was a cornerstone of early American commerce. The first half dollars, the flowing hair and draped bust types, were large silver coins that carried significant purchasing power. They were essential for larger transactions at a time when paper money was not always trusted. These coins featured early portraits of liberty and a simple eagle, setting the stage for more than 2 centuries of numismatic art. Their size made them an excellent canvas for engravers to showcase their skills. In 1839, the seated liberty design was adopted for the half dollar, a design it would carry for over 50 years until 1891. This iconic image of liberty seated on a rock symbolized a nation that was secure and at peace. Christian Gobrecht's design brought a sense of uniformity to America's silver coins, appearing on the dime and quarter as well. Throughout its long mintage, the seated Liberty half dollar saw minor changes, including the addition of arrows at the date to signify weight changes, and a motto, "In God We Trust," added to the reverse in 1866 following the Civil War. The Walking Liberty half dollar, minted from 1916 to 1947, is often considered one of the most beautiful coins ever produced by the United States. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, the obverse shows a full-length figure of liberty walking toward the dawn of a new day, draped in the American flag. The reverse features a majestic eagle perched on a rock, ready to take flight. This powerful and graceful design resonated with the public and has been a favorite of collectors ever since. The image of Walking Liberty was so beloved that it was later revived for the American Silver Eagle bullion coin. In 1964, the half dollar was redesigned to honor the recently assassinated President John F. Kennedy. The Kennedy half dollar was released to an eager public, and the first issues were hoarded by collectors and those wishing to keep a memento of the beloved president. The 1964 coin was the last circulating half dollar to be made of 90% silver. From 1965 to 1970, it was made with 40% silver, and since 1971, it has been a copper nickel-clad coin. While it is no longer common in everyday transactions, the mint continues to produce Kennedy half dollars each year for collectors, a lasting tribute to a president and an era. The silver dollar holds a special place in the hearts of coin collectors. It is often seen as the most iconic American coin. The first silver dollar was struck in 1794. These coins, known as flowing hair dollars, are extremely rare and valuable. Only a few hundred are believed to exist today. The design featured liberty with flowing hair on the front and a simple eagle on the back. This was soon followed by the draped bust dollar. Production of silver dollars stopped in 1804 and did not resume for over 3 decades. These early dollars are true treasures of American numismatic history. Production of silver dollars resumed in the 1840s with the seated Liberty dollar, which was minted until 1873. However, the most famous silver dollar is the Morgan dollar. It was minted from 1878 to 1904, and again for 1 year in 1921. Named after its designer, George T. Morgan, the coin features a portrait of Liberty on the front and an eagle with outstretched wings on the back. The Morgan dollar was a product of the politics of silver mining in the American West. Billions of these coins were minted, but many were stored in treasury vaults for decades, creating a fascinating story of rarity and availability for collectors. Following the Morgan dollar was the Peace dollar, minted from 1921 to 1935. This coin was designed to commemorate the peace that followed the end of World War I. The front of the coin shows a beautiful and youthful portrait of Liberty, while the reverse features a peaceful eagle perched on a rock watching a sunrise. The word peace is inscribed on the rock. Designed by Anthony de Francisi, the Peace dollar is the last silver dollar that was struck for circulation. It represents the nation's hope for a lasting peace after a devastating global conflict. After the Peace dollar, the production of dollar coins for circulation ceased for many years. It was revived in 1971 with the Eisenhower dollar. This coin honored President Dwight D. Eisenhower and the Apollo 11 moon landing. It was a large, copper nickel-clad coin, though some were also made in 40% silver for collectors. This was followed by the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979, the Sacagawea golden dollar in 2000, and the presidential dollar series from 2007 to 2016. While these modern dollars have not circulated as widely as their silver predecessors, they continue the long and storied tradition of the American dollar coin. Gold coins were a vital part of the American monetary system from its inception until the 1930s. The Coinage Act of 1792 authorized 3 denominations of gold coins: the quarter eagle, which was $2.50, the half eagle, which was $5, and the eagle, which was $10. The first gold coins were struck in 1795. These early issues featured a design of Liberty wearing a turban-like cap, known as the turban head design. The reverse showed a small eagle, which was later replaced by a larger heraldic eagle. These early gold coins are very rare today, as many were melted down over the years when the price of gold increased. Throughout the 19th century, gold coinage expanded. The California gold rush of 1849 led to a huge increase in the supply of gold. This prompted the creation of 2 new denominations: the gold dollar, which was just $1, and the double eagle, which was $20. The gold dollar was a tiny coin, smaller than a modern dime, while the double eagle was the largest circulating coin in United States history. The primary designs of this era were the Liberty head, or coronet type. This design by Christian Gobrecht was used for many decades on all gold denominations, creating a uniform look for the nation's most valuable coins. The early 20th century is often called the Renaissance of American coinage. President Theodore Roosevelt wanted to make American coins as beautiful as the ancient Greek coins he admired. He commissioned the famous sculptor Augustus St. Gaudens to redesign the eagle and double eagle. The resulting coins, first issued in 1907, are widely considered the most beautiful coins ever made in America. The $20 double eagle features a powerful image of Liberty striding forward, while the $10 eagle has a stunning portrait of Liberty wearing a Native American war bonnet. These designs are masterpieces of numismatic art. The era of circulating gold coinage came to an abrupt end in 1933. During the Great Depression, President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued an executive order requiring Americans to turn in their gold coins to the government. The country officially abandoned the gold standard, and the minting of gold coins for circulation stopped. Millions of gold coins, including many of the beautiful St. Gaudens double eagles, were melted down into gold bars. This event made the surviving gold coins, especially those from 1933, incredibly rare and valuable. Today, the United States Mint produces gold bullion coins for investors, but the days of spending gold coins in stores are a distant memory. The story of American coins did not end with the removal of silver and gold from circulation. The modern era, which began in 1965, has seen many fascinating developments. The switch to a copper-nickel-clad composition for dimes and quarters, and a copper-plated zinc core for pennies, was a major economic decision. While the designs of the penny, nickel, dime, and quarter remained stable for many years, the United States Mint began to explore new ideas. The bicentennial of the Revolution in 1976 was a key moment. For this celebration, special reverse designs were created for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coin, sparking a new interest in coin collecting among the public. This new interest led to one of the most successful coinage programs in history, the 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. A new quarter design was released every 10 weeks, honoring each state in the order it joined the Union. An estimated 140 million Americans became collectors of these quarters. The program was a brilliant way to teach geography and history, and it showed that coins could be more than just money. They could be miniature canvases for telling the nation's story. The success of this program led to subsequent quarter series honoring United States territories and national parks. In addition to circulating coinage, the United States Mint has greatly expanded its production of commemorative and bullion coins. Commemorative coins are special issues that celebrate important people, places, and events in American history. These are sold directly to collectors, with a portion of the proceeds often going to support a related cause or organization. Bullion coins such as the American Gold Eagle and American Silver Eagle are made for investors who want to own precious metals in the form of official government-issued coins. These programs have allowed the Mint to continue its tradition of beautiful and artistic coinage. As we look to the future, the role of physical coins is changing. With the rise of credit cards, debit cards, and digital payments, people use cash less and less. Some have even called for the elimination of the penny and nickel to save money on production costs. However, coins remain an important part of our culture and history. They are tangible artifacts that connect us to the past. They are works of art that we can hold in our hands. Whether as tools of commerce or as collector's items, American coins will continue to tell the story of the nation for generations to come.